Hey, it's Jürgen. Just checking in. A great 5-1 win in the cup over Trier, and then a tough but solid 1-0 victory at Köln to start the league. Diaz, Marban, and Caicedo stood out, and the defense held firm. Next up, Bayern and Bremen in the league. Big tests ahead. Let's keep the momentum going.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 44 of Red Bull KloppBot here on SHOWDOWNS FM. Hope you're doing well and also having a good start to the new year. And coming up today, we're going to play our first couple of Bundesliga games on camera this season. First up, it's a rematch from the Super Cup yesterday as we take on Bayern Munich before the KloppBot's hotspots and we take on Werder Bremen. So if you're looking forward to that, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on today's video, all that good YouTube algorithmic stuff. But a couple of days ago, we took on Bayern Munich in our lone preseason competitive game in the DFL Super Cup. So if you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. Also in the episode, ran through a lot of the transfers that we did do, nothing extra happening off the back of the episode on that front, so we don't need to catch you guys up on anything in terms of that, but we have played a few more games to start off our DFB Pokal defense as well as our defense of the Bundesliga title. First up, we took on a team who aren't in the pyramid here in Germany in the first round of the DFB Pokal. We took on Schleier. They lived up to their namesake, actually scored a goal there just past 15 minutes in there through Serhat Ilhan, but apart from that, we were definitely a team here on the front foot. Actually, probably should have scored a few more goals with our 51 shots and 18 on target, but in the end, pick up a very comfortable 5-1 win there to go through the second round of the DFB Pokal, a double there to Diaz, and also goals to Kevin Kier, Eric Martel, and Uzziel Marban. So good performance from us there, even though we probably should have done a bit better in terms of the scoreline, but we'll take that 5-1 win with our full rotation off the back of that Super Cup winner with our stronger team. And then we open the Bundesliga campaign with an away trip to Cologne, a team expected to finish inside the top half of the Bundesliga. We picked up a 1-0 win here, a deflected Mohamed Kudus goal, which went down as an Alvaro Fernandez own goal. So that's how we picked up the result there at Cologne in our first game of the Bundesliga season. Stats-wise, just slightly on the front foot, definitely not our best display, but we pick up the win. Moises Caicedo getting man of the match there with a 7.4, quite a few players with green ratings. Just a bit average in terms of our attack, but thankfully kept things quite at the back there with our new and improved defence with Connor Bradley, and in this game Kevin Kier, who started while Hincapi was out with a minor injury. So we start the season there with a 1-0 win. Not much point yet looking at the Bundesliga table, but you will note that Bayern Munich and Dortmund also picked up wins on the opening match day. A couple of teams have picked up 2 wins from 2, and Gladbach and Bayer Leverkusen. So this season might be a bit tougher to grab a march on some teams like we did last season when they dropped points quite early, albeit saying that, early chance here to hopefully grab a bit of a gap on Bayern Munich because we take them on in our second game at the Red Bull Arena. We're very familiar with these guys. We just played them a couple of days ago and picked up a win, albeit it was a little bit fortunate. Late penalty save there by Simon to deny them from the spot and hold on to pick up a 2-1 win in that DFL Super Cup. Since then, a 4-2 win over Bochum to start their Bundesliga campaign and a 6-0 win over a team I need to check on in Bischofswerda, who are also not on the pyramid. So quite a similar team that they beat compared to us in trial, albeit they actually kept a clean sheet and did score 1 more goal. But hopefully we can find a way to beat them again. It's the first time we beat them in that last episode, so hopefully we can do the same here and grab a 3-point march on them early in the Bundesliga season, albeit we are dealing with an added injury from the start of the season. Obviously, Salk's out for a fair while with that broken lower leg. You can see Hincapi, Magno and Simons all come back from recent injuries. Hincapi's one the reason he didn't take part in that Bundesliga opener where we got past Cologne, but still out is Elias Benseguir. Should be back for our trip to Werder Bremen, but is out for 1 to 2 more days with that plantar fasciitis or whatever injury he suffered was in the preseason. Still not sure exactly what that is, but it does mean that Diaz can keep his spot on the bench, and to be fair, has been doing a good job for us, a very good backup there if one of him or Simons does pick up an injury. And also a couple of players on a heavy workload. Not too sure how that's happened this early in the season. It's Connor Bradley and Eric Martel from our first team. So yeah, not too sure how some of these players are on a heavy workload this early in the season, but it's happened. So a little bit of rotation for this game, but thankfully not too much. Some good replacements there in Malhiro, a star from last season, at right back, and Bajcetic there in the ball-winning midfield role. So hopefully it doesn't make us too much weaker, and we can pick up back-to-back wins over Bayern Munich and grab an early 3-point gap over them on the Bundesliga table. And here are the team sheets for our first game of today's episode, the rematch from the Super Cup, where we do take on Bayern. A couple of changes we ran through before, got Bajcetic in there in the ball-winning midfield role, and also Malhiro at right back. But apart from that, it's a very strong team. As well as that, we've got Restes back in goal. They are Bayern Munich going with a 4-2-3-1, and it's a pretty strong team as well, so this should be a big early season clash. Hopefully can back up that result from the Super Cup, do it again, and keep our perfect start going for the new season. And just past the 10-minute mark, the first highlight of this game so far has just been the one thing of note that's happened. Bajcetic has picked up an early yellow card, and Martel probably going to have to come off the bench here at halftime, as long as Bajcetic doesn't do anything silly and get a red card in this one. But it's a nice play down our left-hand side there. Gets Magno slightly in behind, pulls that one back there for Caicedo. It's a lovely ball in there to Benjamin Sesko, his first goal of the Bundesliga season. Of course, scored a couple of times in that game yesterday where we picked up the Super Cup. But so far, Benjamin Sesko is loving life here against Bayern Munich this season. Nice pass there from Magno to find Caicedo, and Sesko there somehow gets that ball right in the middle of that inner box and thankfully can put that one away. To be fair, it's a nice pass from Caicedo, but still, you'd expect the Bayern defence to be a bit better than that. Then a free kick, they go far post. Thankfully, that header goes just over the bar. Restes not too sure if he would have got to that one, so thankfully still 1-up. Interesting pass out there from Restes as well, but thankfully we just take our time here, make our way out from deck, and eventually go back to Diamonde up there to Stefan, and now Malhiro plays that one forward to Kudus before going back to the yellow carded Bajcetic. Now Caicedo again will find Magno in space. Down our left-hand side, goes looking for the bottom right corner, but Lunin comes up with a good save. But so far a bit of a topsy-turvy game. It looks like we might be ever so slightly on the front foot. Try and find Magno there inside the box. Unfortunately, a foot-in does mean that Bayern can clear their lines, and we still have a 1-0 lead. And we go for to just past the half-hour mark for the next highlight of this game. And there was a throw in there to Bayern Munich deep inside their own half. We try and disrupt it, but unfortunately can't quite win that ball. Davies there on a yellow card, just as enough there to keep that ball for Bayern in the All Black yet again. And Elise, of course, the player of the season from last year. A foot in there on someone. It falls through to Musiala, but thankfully Restes gets a slight touch to tip that one onto the crossbar and put it out for a corner. Otherwise, I think that one might have been making its way into the back of the net. Elise goes looking for the top left corner. Thankfully, Upamecano was offside, but Restes anyway came up with a good save. So Bayern are starting to get some chances here late in the first half, but overall stats-wise, we are slightly on the front foot. Thankfully, made the most of it there through that Sesko goal off the back of good work from Magno, as well as Caicedo, who picked up the assist, and we take a 1-0 lead here into half-time. To be fair, most players out there doing a pretty good job, but Bajcetic on that yellow card won't risk things. Martel can come on for him. Hopefully won't pick up an injury on that heavy workload, considering we're so early in the season. Wasn't expecting any heavy workloads until we kicked in to the Champions League fixtures, which, to be fair, we might get soon, maybe in between the games we play in today's episode. But so far so good. 1-0 in front of Bayern Munich. And we don't have to wait long at all here for the first half of the second half, but it's a corner here to Bayern and Sane, who puts that one edge of the box for Michael Olise. It's an absolute rocket, that one into the top right corner. Third time lucky, because so far Restes has been able to pull off some pretty good saves on his efforts, as well, of course, as Musiala actually was before that chance to get ruled out for offside before Restes did pull off the save, but this time no stopping that one. Unfortunately, don't keep our lead for too long in this game, and it is 1-1 in Bayern here. Might have found a taste for things, as there's a highlight pretty shortly off the back of that goal. And Elise again does get in behind. I think their shot there took a deflection from Costello. Indeed it did. So Bayern here on the front foot early in the second half, and they've made it 1-1. And just past the hour mark, I think we're going to make our first sub here of the second half itself. Pedro Malhiro not going too badly at right back on a 6.6, but maybe bringing on Connor Bradley won't be the worst idea. Should be a decent improvement for us there at right back. Also a player on a heavy workload, just like Martel. But fingers crossed, that might be a difference maker for us here in the late stages of this game. Those first teamers on a heavy workload can come on and be a bit of a difference maker. And we find Xavi there on the edge of the box, who picks out Sesko, who heads that one home past Lunin to make it 2-1. He absolutely is loving playing against Bayern Munich so far this season. I think that's now 4 goals in the 2 games, and Xavi there gets that ball from that free kick down our right-hand side. It included Connor Bradley, so he has some immediate impact since coming onto the field, but Sesko gets himself on a hat-trick and makes it 2-1 with 20 minutes to go. And off the back of that, we've got a few players down to red hearts in Simons and Magno, so Diaz can come on in central attacking midfield and Odrago at left wing. 1 sub left with 20 minutes to go and a 2-1 lead. And in a couple of minutes off the back of that goal to Sesko to put us back in front 2-1 as well as those subs, there's a highlight here and we try and make our way out from back, doing a pretty good job so far. And Sesko, some good work there to get past. I think that one's Gonzalez looking for a hat-trick. Unfortunately, that shot comes off the inside of the woodwork and Bayern can try and make their way out from back. Marcus Leonardo, who it looks like they've got in there to start up front instead of Harry Kane. That's quite interesting, but he gets the ball. Thankfully, that highlight does come to an end. Now Kudus goes down to a red heart. So young Beja can come on for him. Definitely going to get some game time with that injury that Salk did suffer. That's our final sub, still 2-1 in front, about to make our way to the last 10 minutes of this game. We'll just go forward now towards the 85-minute mark, because if we can get there, might be a good time for us to start time wasting just a little bit, and indeed we do. So now it's time for us here, just ever so slightly, time waste as well as be more disciplined, get our goalkeeper to slow the pace down when we do play out from the back. So hopefully that'll give Bayern less chances here late on in this game. So far, just doing enough to hold on to our 2-1 advantage as we make our way into 5 minutes of added time. And thankfully so far, it's gone pretty cruisy for us here in this clash. Didn't have to go frequent in that game. We probably should have, but thankfully hold on and pick up another 2-1 win over Bayern Munich. To be fair, they picked up a lot of yellow cards at the back in that game. Maybe that's something that did help us pick up the win there. But Sesko, yet again, comes to the fore for us there in a game against Bayern Munich this season. He picks up a double yet again to cancel out that goal to release early in the second half, which was an absolute ripper from a corner that Sane did take to the edge of the box. It was a really good finish into the top right corner, but thankfully Sesko can counter that and helps us pick up a 2-1 win, 2 wins from 2 to join Gladbach and Bayer at the top of the Bundesliga. So after taking a wee while to pick up our first win over Bayern Munich, we pick up 2 in a row there with that 2-1 winner in the Bundesliga, only a couple of games off the back of picking up the Super Cup. There you can see the updated table off the back of about 8 days since we did play that game. Dortmund for 4-1 win over Mainz the day after we picked up that win. And also, they've played on the following match week. They just beat Nuremberg, while Bayern, they just beat Eintracht Frankfurt. So it does mean currently we're down in 6th, but can go all the way up to 1st, depending on goal differential from the second game, where we will take on Werder Bremen, who this season are a Europa League team. And also a quick look at the KloppBot's hotspots as well. But before then, we did get our Champions League fixtures for this upcoming season. Most of them are quite interesting, apart from one, because we've got Bayern Munich in that competition, which is really annoying. And again, it's at the Red Bull Arena. It might even be a game that we skip over because it's so early in the season. Of course, we get Bayern in the Champions League. Really wish you wouldn't take on fellow teams from your country in this new format, but you do. We had Dortmund last year. This year, we get Bayern Munich. But first up, it's a rematch from the semi-final last season. We take on Manchester United. So I dare say that's what I come back for at the end of this week, as well as maybe taking on Benfica as well, seeing as that one is only a week off the back of that. But those 2 games against Man United and Bayern, definitely on paper, the toughest ones we have in the Champions League this season. Apart from that, November looks okay. Ajax away could be a little bit tricky, but you'd expect us to win that one as well as away at Rapid Vienna. Our last game this year against Real Sociedad, a bit of interest there, of course, off the back of the sale of Jadon Oosterwolde, but still, that's a team we probably should be beating, even though they are from La Liga. In our last 2 games, look very kind in the new year. Liga Warsaw and Olympiacos, both at the Red Bull Arena. So I think even if we drop points in games against United and Bayern Munich, we should be okay to make our way through the top 8. I'm hopeful that we can do just as well as we did last season and make our way straight through to that round of 16 and hopefully pick up some wins in those first couple of games. Not that we probably need to, but it would be quite nice to get some revenge on Man United for that narrow win that they did pick up in the semi-finals of the Champions League last season over us. That's what we've got in the Champions League. Man United and Bayern, probably the standout games, but we played Bayern a few times already this season. So not too sure if you guys will see this one, but Man United definitely the big fixture away from home at Old Trafford, where last season They beat us 4-1 in the first leg of that Champions League semi-final, and that really did put us on the back foot for that second leg where we came oh so close to turning things around, but just couldn't quite get the job done. But next up for us, we take on Werder Bremen. As I said, in Europe this season, actually the Conference League, not the Europa League. They did make their way through the league phase, though, off the back of some wins over Copenhagen in the qualifying stage, but they've currently only managed a couple of draws in the Bundesliga against Cologne and Hertha Berlin. So considering that we just did enough to beat Cologne in our first game of the season, hopefully we can do something similar here as we take on Werder Bremen. Jess Forup, he's their manager, another one here in Germany who does like a 4-2-3-1. Jens Stag is their captain, a defensive midfielder come right winger. To be fair, a bit of a Danish Josh Kimmich, because he actually looks like he can play pretty much anywhere on the field and is quite handy at 31 years old. Their captain, their vice-captain, Nicholas Stark. I remember him coming out here for one of the FIFA Under-20, I think, World Cups that got held here in New Zealand and being one of the more promising players. He does have 2 caps for the German national team, but another player who these days is getting on a little bit. Hopefully we can get the better of him considering he's just got the 2 stars current ability and potential. But their key player, Marco Friedel, a left back come defensive midfielder, 30 years old though, so this is quite an aging team, but has been doing a good job there for Jess Forup considering they've got European football this season. So we'll see how he gone here against Werder Bremen, team expected on the season preview to be finishing in the bottom half, and so far are struggling just a little bit, albeit they might have been focusing on making sure they made their way into that league phase of the Conference League, which I'd like to think that have a decent chance of going quite deep, and so maybe they'll be a bit more up for this one than those first couple of games of the Bundesliga season, but still a game we're expecting to win, especially because no injury concerns going into this one apart from the obvious one of Kylian Salk, and also no players on a heavy workload for this one either, so it does mean we can put out our best 11 before we get stuck into this away trip here to Bremen. It's time to see what the KloppBot's found for his hotspots. And as per usual, we start off with accommodation here in Bremen. For this one, it's about a 4-hour trip from Leipzig, so probably a bit long to be going back home after this game, especially on a Sunday. He's found 3 hotels for us here. Here's the KloppBot. We're going to check in to the first one he's recommended, the Radisson Blue, located in the heart of Bremen. This hotel offers modern amenities, including a fitness centre and gaming zone, ideal for team relaxation and preparation. A quick look at what their website does look like. Only a couple of photos there on the main page itself. To be fair, price-wise, not too shabby, albeit that is American dollars. This could be quite a fancy one with a 4.5-star review, so hopefully that lives up to the players' expectations. Going down a bit further, a bit of a description on what's going on in the hotel and the town itself. An upscale hotel in Bremen's historic old town. Going down a bit further, you can see all the different room types that we do have available. We've got standard, superior, premium, junior, suite, and Sweden. Going down even further, in fact, that's it. So we've got 5 room types there that we can check out. Should be enough for us here with our RB Leipzig team, especially with a few of these bodies these days, with some players down in the B team this year. They can do meetings and events. Going down further, there's all the services that you can get. They've got a restaurant and bar, which is apparently all about good things, good food, good friends, and good times. Hopefully it'll be good. Given that, we'll go down further. There's all the nearby attractions that we can check out, and I think that about does it here for the hotel website. So it does look tidy enough. Hopefully they'll get the job done. A place to stay there while we are in Bremen. Going back now to see the free activities that the KloppBot's found for us. Now the first one, there's not actually a website that shows what it's about, so it's a bit of an interesting one, this one. The Chain Reaction Machine Workshop at Universum Bremen will engage our team in building a complex chain reaction machine using everyday materials. This activity fosters creativity, collaboration, and problem-solving skills in a fun, hands-on environment. There's just nothing showing what it's actually about on the website, so a bit difficult to show you guys exactly what that is about, but hopefully that description from the KloppBot makes sense. That's what we're going to be doing first up there in Bremen before this game. The next 2 things though, we do have websites that we can check them out on. First up is a city rally in Bremen itself. We'll participate in an exciting city rally where teams navigate through Bremen, completing tasks and challenges that require communication and teamwork. This interactive exploration enhances team bonding while discovering the city's landmarks. To be fair, it kind of sounds like the Amazing Race sort of scavenger hunt stuff the KloppBot's had us do previously in some other towns in Germany, but here it is on this website that we have found from the KloppBot himself. There's the description pretty much copy and pasted from what you've just seen over there through the KloppBot. That's what we're going to be doing there, second up in Bremen, and there's a picture of it in action, I think, because it definitely doesn't look like a sailing race. That must be one of the streets you go down there, or the city rally in Bremen might be part of the old town as well as our hotel. And to round things off here in Bremen for the KloppBot's hotspots, something a little bit more interesting potentially, a graffiti workshop will unleash our team's creativity with a guided graffiti workshop under professional supervision. Team members can collaborate to create a mural promoting unity and artistic expression. So we'll see which of our team members here have a bit of an arty side to them. Here's the website that we did find. You put on all your protective equipment and also your face mask to make sure you don't get high while you're spraying all the paint, and you get a bit creative putting words on things and that sort of stuff, and also a bit of street art. So we'll see how the fellas they deal with that. Hopefully, as I said, the face mask work. Otherwise, might have a few high lads on the field for this game that we're going to play away at Werder Bremen, but hopefully can pick up another win and make it 3 wins from 3 to start the Bundesliga season. And here are the team sheets for our second game. In today's episode, there are Werder Bremen, another team that are going with a 4-2-3-1 to be fair. Looks like most of their key players are in that team, but this is definitely one that we should be beating, especially off the back of a win over Bayern Munich, and also with our full strength 11 for the first time in this Bundesliga season. Hopefully can pick up another win here, even though this is away from home, and go close to top of the Bundesliga table. And a very early highlight in this game, just 1 minute and we've got a free kick here. We take it short, Tallis Magno will shift down to Diamande, who squares that one for Magno. It's a really well worked routine, that one. Again, the short free kicks look super overpowered on this year's game, which hopefully won't be this year's game for too much longer, considering it's now 2025. Please release FM25 this year, please. We're looking forward to a new game, but a good short free kick routine from us there, nice and early, and Tallis Magno starts it and caps it off to put us 1-0 in front. And just shy of the half-hour mark, getting these title in this game, so it's been a fair wait. And also, Werder Bremen on the attack for the first time. Thankfully, Diamande can head that one away, but unfortunately, they get that one back and find Nakamura. And a bit of space there down their right-hand side. Tallis Magno, as well as Hincapi, don't really pick him up. Some poor defensive work from us there down our left-hand side, especially considering that was off the back of him putting that ball into the mixer at the far post. So somehow, we just lose him there. I think Tallis Magno was trying to mark him, but not too sure why Hincapi hasn't picked him up. But unfortunately, with their first real attack of this game, Werder Bremen, they score a goal and make it 1-1 just shy of the half-hour mark. Albeit right off the back of that, we now have thrown down the other end. Tallis Magno will pick up Bradley in space there down our right-hand side. Simons goes down, it goes back up there to Kudus though, who finds Magno, who can pick up a double. So thankfully, he picks up a goal to make up for some potentially average defensive work before, to be fair, it's probably more on Hincapi instead of our winger, but thankfully we get back in front here very shortly. They try and take out Jerry there, but the ball goes back out to Mohamed Kudus, who picks out Magno, and he gets himself on a hat-trick at the half-hour mark, and we go back in front 2-1, albeit the highlights here, they do continue, so lots of action here happening around the half-hour mark. Werder Bremen looking for another equaliser. Thankfully, Bradley there with a foot in to get that ball back for us now. Caicedo, who so far has done a really good job early stages here at RB Leipzig. That's a poor pass that though from Diamande. Bremen do get a chance, but thankfully Vitesse skies that one. Big chance there for Werder Bremen to equalise, but thankfully still 2-1. 10 minutes left in the first half. And it looks like that might do it for the first half. A little bit fortunate here to be 2-1 in front. A massive chance there off the back of that Magno second goal for them to grab another equaliser. But thankfully, his double does mean that we do have a 2-1 lead. A little bit frustrated with that goal that we didn't concede to Nakamura. But to be fair, they should have scored that second chance. So I think 2-1 is a fair reflection of this game so far. And all our players out there doing a decent job as well. So no changes there going in to the second half. Hopefully can kick away and make it 3 wins from 3 to start our Bundesliga season. And it doesn't take long here for the first whole of the second half, only a few minutes in it's a throw in there for Werder Bremen. Thankfully though, they give that ball to us. A little bit of poor work there from Werder Bremen as they try and keep that ball on the halfway line. Thankfully this time, we actually link up with our teammates and try and get something going here. Unfortunately though, Xavi with a bit of a loose touch, so it goes back there to the Werder Bremen goalkeeper, pumps that one deep, and for some reason, we give Brun Larsen a ton of space there down our left-hand side. Hincapi though, bit of a fortunate deflection. We hoof that one clear there through Caicedo, who picks out Tallis Magno, of course, looking for a hat-trick. Puts that one into the mix. They're still looking for Cisco, can't find him, but then Kudus tries to. It goes back out to Xavi Simons, who can put that one away in the bottom left corner and make it 3-1. So thankfully, there's our cushion goal finally in this game. Magno having a very good one, but that ball from Caicedo to him was inch perfect. Then we try and find Cisco, goes back out to Kudus, who looks for Cisco. Rather fortunately, that tackle from Stark does fall to Xavi Simons, right place, right time, to make it 3-1 Leipzig. And we're just about to sneak our way here in the last 20 minutes of this game, looking there for Magno down our left-hand side. Can't quite find him, of course. He is looking now for a hat-trick, but thankfully get that ball back pretty soon as Werder Bremen try and clear their lines. Now Magno is back on the ball, plays that one through there to Xavi, who will now also get himself on a hat-trick, provided that he stayed onside. Nice finish, that one curving it around the goalkeeper into the bottom right corner. If he was onside, and thankfully that is the case, that makes it 4-1. Might be a good chance for us here to bring on all our youngsters off of the bench, because there are a few of them now on our bench here in this first team at Leipzig, but thankfully Xavi there stayed onside by a pretty good margin. It did feel like. We'll see if we get a replay. Indeed we do. There's the pass from Magno. He is a little bit close to being offside, but thankfully I think he was on. I think Cisco, if the ball found him, might have been off. Xavi will pick up a double. He's on a hat-trick as well as Magno, but we'll make some changes here. We'll take off the players not on green ratings, so that would be Hincapi coming off here for Kevin Kier. Also Shabalala can come on for Luke Cable. Give Bradley a rest for Malhilo. Bring on Marban for Cisco, and while we can, Vaya can come on for Kudus as well, seeing as he's a youngster, probably needs the game time to develop a little bit. So a bit of game time here for our youngsters so they can get a rating later on this one with a 4-1 lead. And just about to make our way into the last 10 minutes of this game, and the second half has been a lot more cruisy than the first was. A couple of goals to now stretch this one out to a 4-1 lead. Some nice work here down our right-hand side. Bayard for us to square that one for one of our attackers. It gets it back though off the back of a poor pass to try and get that one clear from Werder Bremen, and puts that one away in the bottom left corner. And that's his first Bundesliga goal there for the Argentinian winger. Some good work here down our right-hand side. They really should have dealt with the danger there through Stark. And then this back pass, not too sure what Popescu's thinking, but it falls back to Vaya, who can put that one away. That well and truly puts the cherry on top of this result. In 10 minutes left, and we've got a 5-1 lead. And there might even be time for one more goal in this one. Just made our way into the last 5 minutes. And Martel there tries to find that top left corner for a header. Can't quite do it. The ball does go out there though to Kevin Kier, who rockets that one into the top right corner. Absolute screamer there from the English left back. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come there from him. Did think Hincapi was a little bit average, despite the fact he was on a half decent rating when he was on the field. Kevin Kier, that should put him well and truly in the green. That's an absolute stunner of a goal. That should be up there for goal of the season here at Leipzig, a very early contender. That makes it 6-1, so we've definitely kicked away here in the second half of this one. In 2 minutes of added time, which is quite nice. That should mean we're nicely rested for our next game, which I think is in the Bundesliga, before we get stuck into the start of our Champions League campaign. But a big second half from us there, off the back of a Magno double. In the first half, Simons got himself on a hat-trick, and then some youthful bench impact through Veja and Kevin Kier, with, as I said, a contender for goal of the season, assisted as well by Shabalala. So good work there from our youngsters late on off the bench in that game. In the end, a bit of a thrashing there to Werder Bremen. It's a 6-1 win, and that might even mean our goal differential now is good enough for us to go on top of the table. Just get through here. The post-match should probably actually give them a quite positive team talk off the back of that second half, because certainly kicked away like we wanted to off the back of a little bit of a fortunate first half. Probably should have been 2-2 at the break, but we pick up a 6-1 win, and it does see us go top of the table thanks to our goal differential. So we continue our unbeaten start to the season there in today's episode, picking up a 2-1 win again over Bayern Munich. Again, thanks to Benjamin Sesko, before some other players step up there. Simons as well as Magno, goal scoring wise, albeit could have actually got man of the match for a couple of assists before we took him off for another goal scorer in Beja. But a 6-1 win there over Werder Bremen, and as you saw before, that does see us go on top of the Bundesliga, albeit only because of goal differential and still quite early in the season. But it does look like this year the other big guns in Dortmund and Bayern Munich are picking up points in the other games a bit more regularly than they were last season. Definitely doing the job in terms of top goal scorers as well as player of the matches and top assist getters. So it does look like those two teams might be quite good attacking wise this season. We'll see if we have enough about us to hold on to this Bundesliga title for a second straight season, especially when we start to get stuck into the Champions League as well, which will be coming up in the next episode yet again in a couple of days' time, seeing as we are still in the holiday period. But if you enjoyed today's episode, wins over Bayern as well as Werder Bremen, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on today's episode, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. As I said, we'll come back in a couple of days' time. We'll definitely take on Manchester United in a rematch from that Champions League semi from last season. Hopefully, you can get off to a good start there, albeit that will be a tough one away from home. As I said earlier, where we suffered that 4-1 defeat in the first leg of that semi-final. We'll probably skip over Hoffenheim and Eintracht Frankfurt. Those are two teams that really this season should be beating, with a strong looking team here at RB Leipzig, and hopefully can get some more points on the board when we host Benfica. So a couple of Champions League games we'll come back for in the next episode. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.